Welcome to a brand new episode of the menu. If this is your first time checking out the menu right here on Digital Chef ENT, I'm Taryn Williams. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you've watched my series of the menu, you know how this process is. But if this is your very first time, I'm going to break it down to you. You're going to see me first for about 30 seconds to like a minute to 2 minutes, depending on how long I feel like talking. Then we switch into our origin story, which is just a little history of what we're going to be making. And then we get to the prepping and cooking, and then the plating, and then the presentation of the finished product. So this is how the menu breaks down. Once again, thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. Give this video a like if you enjoy it. Share it if you're into cooking. You can check out this video, also the rest of season 2 of the menu, and also you can go all the way back to season 1 of the menu, just so you get an idea of what we've been doing here on Digital Chef ENT. Because we don't just cook, we play games. I have some playthroughs, I have some quick looks, I have some of my Twitch uploads, so you get a little bit of variety right here on Digital Chef ENT. But enough of me talking, sit back, relax. Let's get into this very brand new episode of the menu. Alright, welcome back. So before we make our stuffed French toast, we gotta make our bourbon caramel applesauce. So first, we're gonna melt half a stick of butter, or half a cup of butter, excuse me. Turn it down just a little bit. Melt this down first. So if you see my side dish episode of the banana caramel sauce, you will know this process very well. It's gonna be the same process. I just added a couple of things to it. So we're gonna melt this down first. Actually, I might crank it back up a little bit. So this originally was gonna be a brandy caramel applesauce, but I already had bourbon at home, so I figured, you know, why not just use what I already have at home and save the money? You know, gotta save a penny here and there. So our butter is almost melted, just a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to add our sugar. So I have about a cup of sugar. Then we're going to mix the sugar with the butter. Had to switch hands for a second. There we go. The sugar and butter is all mixed together. You don't want the sugar to burn. You want to get a nice light brown. And we get the color we want. I'm probably going to turn the heat down a little bit. Just control it so it doesn't scorch. So you see the sugar started to brown a little bit, but I want to get it to a nice light brown. But you can see it's starting to change colors, which is good. Just keep it stirred so it doesn't stick to the pot. There's about the color that we want, so a nice light brown. So now I'm going to slowly pour in my heavy cream. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to put in a little bit of bourbon. And a little bit of my apple extract. So we're going to let this go to a boil. We're gonna bring this to a boil, and after it comes to a boil, we're gonna simmer it back down. So I might crank the heat just a little bit. Alright, so the very last part of the bourbon caramel applesauce is that you gotta put in your apples. So I'm just gonna mix them in now that the sauce is nice and hot. And what I'm gonna actually do is let it cool for a little bit before I make the French toast. So mix these in really quickly. Then let it cool probably for about 30-40 minutes. Maybe a little less depending on the situation. And then we're gonna build our stuffed French toast. So I'll be right back. Alright, now that we got our bourbon caramel applesauce finished and it's cool in the refrigerator, we're going to make the batter for our French toast. So if you actually seen the eggnog French toast episode I made on Side Dish, which is my second cooking show, you should definitely check out. This will be the exact same process, except for instead of adding eggnog, I'm going to add apple extract. But the basic principle stays the same. So I'm going to take some milk. Take 1 egg. I'm going to beat this together really quickly. Just mix the egg and the milk together. There you go. Then I'm just gonna add some vanilla extract, not too much. Like apple extract. Then I have a little nutmeg. And my cinnamon. Now we're gonna mix everything together. And there's our French toast batter. So before we actually cook our stuffed French toast, we have to build it. So as you can see, I have all my stuff laid out. So what you're basically going to do is you're going to make a sandwich. So I'm just going to take 2 pieces of bread. I'm going to put my bourbon caramel applesauce in the middle. Then dip it in our French toast batter. And then we'll put it on the stove, which I'll get to later. So it's pretty straightforward. You can use like whatever bread you like. I'm just going to use some bread that we have in the house. I was gonna buy a different type of bread, but I was like, you know what, we already have bread, save the money, use what we have, all that good stuff. But you can also get like whatever type of bread that you personally like. Of course, go for it, Your cooking is completely up to you. So, I'm gonna take my first 2 pieces of bread. So I have a spoon and a knife because I want to make sure I get some of the apple chunks. It turned out really well. Like, I'm really happy with how the caramel sauce turned out. And we're just gonna spread it a little bit. It's probably gonna get a little messy, so don't worry about that. Just want to make sure I have a really good filling layer. So you bite into it, you really get the caramel, you really get the apple. Right, and then press it down a little bit. Then we're gonna drop it into our French toast batter. You want to do like maybe like a second and a half on both sides. Just so both sides get some of the batter. So here's one. You're gonna do our second one. Here we go. And press it down. There we go. Now we're going to take them over to the skillet. Okay, let's get into the final step, cooking our stuffed French toast. So I already got my copper skillet nice and hot, so I'm just going to drop my first sandwich into the skillet. I love that sound. And you just want to watch it, make sure it doesn't stick and everything. My French toast might be a little too soggy, but you know what? We're going to make it work. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure to go a little longer because it's a little soggy. It's gonna taste really good though. It has a nice brown around the edges, as you can tell. I just gotta make sure it cooks. Cut my eye up a little bit, so. Yeah, it has a good golden brown to it. Just gotta make sure that it cooks in the middle and all the way out. So I just crank the heat up just a little bit to make sure that this side cooks the way I want it to cook. Also, you gotta remember the bread's a little soggy. Plus, there's the caramel applesauce on the inside of it that's gonna make it even soggier. So that's one thing about cooking. It's all trial and error. So it'll be fine. Alright, so before we finish up this video, I got some requests to actually give you guys my thoughts on how I do my presentation. So how I do my plating at the end of videos. Because if you watch the videos, you know I usually go from cooking to the end, and I kind of leave that in between out. And the reason why I usually leave that little section out, because honestly, I usually have no clue what I'm going to do when I plate for the menu. So if you guys like this section, please leave a comment. Let me know if you guys appreciate it. So I'm just going to give you guys a little rundown of what my thoughts are. So you see I already have my plate. I have my white plate that I've used basically almost every episode of the menu so far. And I have my stuffed French toast. So what I did is I cut them diagonally, like, you know, like when you're a kid, you cut your sandwich into a triangle. And I have 3 pieces. If you notice, I did 2 sandwiches, so you're probably thinking I should have 4 pieces. Well, I could do all 4 pieces, but one of the things I have learned in terms of plating is that a lot of food plating, you like using odd numbers. So, you know, of course, 1, 3, 5, 7. You try to use odd numbers. I think because it really adds a dynamic look to the plate. Because if I add 4, it's like you don't really want symmetrical all the time in cooking. You kind of want it to be kind of powerful and dynamic. And that's why the triangle is like a really nice shape. It's very dynamic. I could have cut it the long way, which is more like traditionally how you might eat your sandwich if you like it like that. But the triangle is a very dynamic shape, so that's why I cut it like that. And 3s, because odd numbers are always like good in plating. Like a lot of people like odd numbers. So that's kind of my first thought process. And so what I'm going to do is, so I've been debating on what I want to do, because you see I have empty space on my plate, like really like right here in front of the French toast. So what I'm thinking is adding a little bit of the caramel sauce and then dragging it around the plate a little bit. See if I can pull this off. Try and get mostly caramel, not too many of the apple chunks. If I got like 1 or 2, I wouldn't complain. Also, my sauce might not be thick enough to pull this off. But if anything, it'll just add a little color to the plate, which is what I really want in the end. Let me just move it over a little bit. So let me add it right there. And then I'm going to just drag it around the plate. Actually, it didn't turn out too bad. I thought it was going to be a hell of a lot worse. So we have that. So now I want to add colors. Because I am doing French toast. One of my old jobs, we did a lot of plating with strawberries and blueberries. So I'm going to do a strawberry. But instead of just dropping the strawberry on there, what I actually did was I actually fanned it. So you cut, depending on how big the strawberry is, you cut slits into it. And then you just press on it and you fan it out to get the fan pattern. So I'm thinking I'm going to put it right here. And then I have a couple of apple slices. Again, you notice I have 1 strawberry. And I'm going to actually do 3 apple wedges. 3 apple slices, excuse me. Actually, I'm going to turn this one. Let's turn it that way. So let me actually raise the strawberry a little bit. Slide that under the strawberry. Do like this. And then do like that. Actually, let me just bring this one a little. There we go. That's what I really wanted. There we go. So it looks like that. You have the caramel sauce, you have the strawberry. Also, stacking is also really big, because if you have vertical space on your plating, you're more welcome to use the vertical space. The vertical space, not splice. So you can build up, if you can. So if you notice, the 3 French toasts are actually stacked on each other. So there's the first one, then the next one, then the next one. Then even with the fruit, you can see I have the 3 apple slices, then the strawberry is actually stacked on top of those 3. So, and to finish my plating completely off, just a little powdered sugar. So, there we go. So here's our finished bourbon caramel apple stuffed French toast. Thank you for checking out this episode of the menu. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, if you like me explaining the reasons, like my presentation ideas or my plating ideas, if you guys like that, please let me know, and I will greatly do it for the next episode of the menu, and also going on to season 3 and then beyond. Maybe not so side dish, because side dish is kind of, maybe even side dish. If you guys want for side dish too, let me know, and I'll do it for side dish as well. Also, because this is episode 9, which means that the very next episode of the menu you see on the channel will be the season finale of season 2. I hope you're excited. I'm really excited. That will be episode 20 of the menu. So 20 episodes of the menu will be in the books. Greatly appreciate it. I couldn't go on this ride without you all. Thank you all for liking, for sharing, for commenting, for just critiquing, criticizing, just giving me input. Like it all, I take it all into account. I don't just blow it off like whatever. This is my show. Do what I want. I really appreciate it. If you guys want me to add something to it, I will add something to it. I'll definitely consider it because your thoughts. The whole reason why I do it is to give you guys value. If you guys think, hey, you should do this. This will give value. I'll definitely consider it. So thank you all for watching again from the bottom of my heart. As you know, you can always check out the website, www.slicingdicinggaming.com, for all things Digital Chef. All my social network links will be in the description like always. You can check out the official Facebook page. Just search for Digital Chef. It'll pop up because you will see the knife and you know what it's all about. Also, always and forever, slicing, dicing, gaming. It's not just a motto, it's a lifestyle. I greatly appreciate you. I greatly appreciate you all for going on this culinary journey with me for 3 years. This November will be 4 years, and we'll keep it going. So thank you for watching again. I'll see you all in the season finale of season 2 of the menu. Later.